Hi, I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Anna.
And we're two sisters who love handcrafting and figuring things out.
Welcome. It is Saturday, December 27th, 2025. Easing into New Year's Eve. We're right between Christmas and New Year's. And this is our 82nd episode?
Yeah, episode 82. And we started in April 2022, so we're coming up on 4 years. That's pretty incredible.
It is pretty incredible.
It shows that it's been really fun because we have kept at it pretty consistently for that. We've had some rain, some promised rain that didn't come, and now we've got some blue skies for a few days. Hoping everybody who had all their snow last night is warm. My son in New York sent us a bunch of fun videos of the kids going sledding. It just looks so fun, all the snow. So, okay, this episode, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to start with we're already doing it, chit chat. We're going to share what we've been working on the last couple of weeks. We're going to get curious about our summing up, recapping our 2025 designer focuses. We have just a few plans, and then we'll end with our thumbs up. Okay, anything big from comments?
Just want to thank everybody in comments and in other ways for all the kind words and kind gestures, most related to the holidays. It's just, I'm just going to say, it feels really nice to be on the receiving end of those. Thank you so much.
And we also realized we finished our last video and we never even said happy holidays. So I hope everybody is having a pleasant, happy holiday. Okay, anything, let's see, what's been going on? We've been celebrating. I just got to tell you, I have just been happy, relaxed, and festive this whole festive season, which I can be like a bah humbug Scrooge, but I'm going to be honest. I think stitching has really helped me enjoy the holiday.
I'm so glad.
Spirit. And a few things is, first of all, it's so fun. I'm just kind of looking around my room right now, like pulling out a few of those handmade cross stitch pieces and kind of having doing some flowers or some candles and then having a piece that it just feels so good. And stitching festive puts me in such a festive mood, and I think it helps just relax and slow down. So I think stitching has really helped me enjoy the holidays.
So stitching more. Like holiday pieces in particular, or just stitching anything?
I think stitching holiday pieces in the holiday season, because it kind of makes me feel holiday, but it also makes me feel like peaceful and calm, and just like the colors. And anyway, I'm in a good place right now.
So good. And I'm just sort of feeling the family love, I would say. We've had just some very nice meals and get-togethers at different people's houses. And we're about to have welcome my daughter and her family who live on the East Coast. They're coming in soon. We're really, really excited about that.
Yeah, we had a fun little movie night over at my son's house, and we all watched the third Knives Out movie, which was really thumbs up, really good. It. But that was just fun. We all just got together. They always put on a good sneaky snack spread.
They're really good at the sneaky snacks.
And then we just watched the movie. It was fun.
And Carolyn made a beautiful meal for everybody too.
Yeah.
On a different evening.
Christmas Eve, we do a Christmas Eve dinner. That was really fun. That's such a fun event. It's fun to do. I have it so down at this point that it just runs like clockwork. So again, it's not stressful. I mean, it's a lot of little work leading up to it, and then I have a whole schedule for that day. But then you never feel like, I got too much to do.
Right.
So super fun.
Okay.
All right. So Anna, let's just toast to our 2025 stitching.
All right, let's do that.
Has it been a good year for you?
It's been a great year for me.
Yeah, it's been a great stitching year.
I'm officially a cross stitcher.
Yeah.
After 4 years, 5 years.
I don't think we can say we're new stitchers anymore.
I was thinking that. We're not beginner stitchers anymore.
We've
tried a bunch of different threads and linens, and we've been to a retreat, and we're starting to form friendships. It's fun.
I'm going to say we're intermediate.
Okay.
It's funny because I'll say, like, as a knitter, I'm advanced. Like, they're very, I don't think there's anything you could give me with knitting that I couldn't do. Cross stitch, I'm not quite there yet. But I've been knitting a long time.
We haven't tried very many specialty stitches yet.
That's true. That hasn't really called to me yet. It might sometime. I'm still happy with those good old basic crosses. Okay. Toasting our 2025 stitching, I pulled out some stats about my 2025. First of all, I started the year with 13 whips. And we had a whip parade, I think I'll put in what episode
Mid-January,
it was. Maybe? No, I think our whip parade last year was more like February, early March. It was a little bit later in the year. So I started the year with 13 whips. I had 28 starts throughout the year. And that,
well done, Carolyn.
But that surprised me. I didn't think I started that. I know. Well, I did 4 starts at Pinwist. So there's 4 right there. Yes. But that actually kind of surprised me. So it was interesting to look back. I had 17 finishes. 13 fully finishes, and some of those would have been overlaps if I finished and FFO'd. And I ended the year with 21 whips. So if you had asked me, I would have said, I ended the year with fewer whips than I started with, but quite the opposite. My largest finish of the year was Fruits of Plenty.
So beautiful.
And in our next video, we'll be talking about our plans for 2026. And definitely one of my plans is getting this professionally framed. And my smallest finish was my little festive crab pillow.
That's a cutie.
On the back is a little tiny fish. I was inspired to work on this after finishing This Bee's Got Knees. That was Kathy Haberman 3D. And we learned how to use the back stitch and then lacing it closed. And I thought this was a great way to finish a little pillow. And of course I had great plans of making, lots of these, and I probably still will, but.
I'll see that again.
I know, and I stuffed it with wool batting, and then I put a little iron on it to just felt it just a touch. And I think it keeps it nice and firm.
Yeah, it
flat.
is. Yeah.
I know.
Love it.
Super cute. All right, those are my stats. Anna, what are your 2025 stats?
I started some things and I finished some things. No, I didn't do any counting of anything. All I know is I have a lot of beautiful things on the go, and I finished some beautiful things. But I did know, when I was thinking about this, I definitely think there are a few trends that happened this year for me. One of which is I still love the look of one strand of thread on 36 count, but I'm almost only stitching on 40 these
That
days.
is interesting.
I've really sort of moved over. I go right to our 40 box of linen instead of I don't even look at our 36.
It's funny because I stitch almost exclusively on 36, so I should almost keep the 36 box here now, and you keep the 40.
Yeah. Now that also means I'm using the sewing method less. I do still stitch in hand, but I find on 40 it's a little bit harder
to do the scoop.
To do the scoop. So we were a couple of videos we were saying, what could we call the poke and stab method other than poke and stab? And one commenter said she calls it the poke and hope.
I love that, the poke and hope.
I forgot to share that. And then my husband and I really love little beach trips, which we have nicknamed a down and back because sometimes we just stay one night. So I think that's what I'm going to call it, the down and back. Because it'll remind me of the beach.
How do you stitch? I do the down and back.
I do that down and back.
Okay,
method.
that's cute.
And then another thing that I feel like is becoming really apparent to me is I love thinking about how I'm going to fully finish something as I'm stitching it. And I really like some of my fully finishes this year.
I'd say that was a big jump for you this year. I feel like you've always been a creative finisher, but I feel like you had some real winners this year with creative finishing.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I do like a collage, so I like thinking about what kind of fabric would maybe not match exactly, but look super cool with it. And I love to sew. I used to sew a lot of garments. So I think those two pieces of me, or experience I have in crafting in other worlds, are coming to my
or kind of layering things for that. Going back to your up and back. Is that what it's down? Down and back. Down and back. I wonder if you'll convert to maybe using a hoop. Because sometimes I think when you are doing the down and back, the hoop opens up your holes a little bit and also gives you something a little firmer to hold on to.
Maybe I'm not having any problems of any sort. And I think I like the feeling of just, I don't need to do anything.
Yeah.
I just pick up my fabric and...
One of our sisters had a famous saying that we always say, says, don't make a happy baby happier.
It's true. Right.
So yeah, it's working.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I am looking forward to, saying to Carolyn, I have some whips, like the linen part in some drawers. I have some on a skirt hanger. I have some project bags in one part of my house. And at some point in January, I want to sort of pull everything out and look at what I really have. And well, maybe before our next video, I'll do this and really think about I have some ideas for 2026, but I think that'll sort of help me cement those ideas. Yeah.
Yeah. For our next video, we'll do plans for 2026. And then we'll have to decide, do we want to also make that a whip parade, or do we want to have a whip parade later? Probably separate them.
Yeah,
so really thinking about like plans and themes for 2026. Yeah. It's always fun. All right. So 2025 was a good stitching year.
I learned a lot. Mm-hmm. We're going to do double cheers from now on.
Probably.
Okay.
Just like it's a way of like closure for the toast segment.
What are you wearing, Carolyn?
I'm wearing a double.
This is one of my favorites.
And I'm feeling sort of holiday in my double. This is one of my favorite too. This is called the Jane Jacobs shawl, and it's designed by Kristen Kapoor, and it's this fantastic, it's called slip stitch color work because you're only working with one color at a time. So if I'm working with the white, I'm slipping the red stitches. I'm working with the red, I'm slipping the white stitches. And this is knit in a lichen and lace superwash fingering, and the colors are beetroot, poppy, and linen. So
all right, so this is making me think of my 15 friends and my different reds.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty bright.
That's true. So right. So this here are really the two reds.
Yeah.
Let's take it off again. And then it has the cream with it. Yeah, so that poppy is, and the beetroot's a really good color. Lichen and Lace is a Canadian company. And then this sweater is a classic for me. This is called the Hinagaku sweater, designed
look how
by...
good our colors look together.
I know, look very festive. Eri Shimazu, and my wool, this is one of my favorite wools. It's Bishi Bouche Le Petit Lamb's wool, and it is just so lightweight that it's so easy to put on and wear.
This is like a little thing popped in my head. I was at the San Francisco Nutcracker yesterday and noticing all the colors of the costumes. I love ballet costumes. But I was noticing that Clara's nightgown was a very light greeny blue. And the Nutcracker's velvet was like almost like a bright baby blue. They were two colors that I thought to myself, like, I'm not sure I would pull those two threads together. I was thinking about cross stitching as I was watching the Nutcracker, but they look so interesting together. And I always have this question of like, do those colors just like clash, like in a good way or a bad way?
Yeah.
Because I think I know about this about myself. I put colors together sometimes that, I have that question of like, there's something about this that I like, but they don't necessarily really go together. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Be interesting to think a little bit more about it, like color theory, to see why it's working or why it's not. Mm-hmm. Are the flowers costumes the same?
Well, when they redid it in, I think it was 2004. It's been a while now.
Yeah.
That's when the costumes changed and the snow changed too. Yeah. But the flowers are really cool. And now they have the children come out. The tiny ones are ladybugs. And then there's butterflies and one other thing too.
I have to go in. When our boys were growing up, we went every year. It was like a huge thing. For one of my sons, dance was like the thing. Like he knew the whole cast. We went to several ballets every year in the Nutcracker. But then once he went to college, we sort of stopped going. But now that the grandkids are getting older, I think we'll... In fact, the 5-year-old and parents went to the Nutcracker this year, and the 3-year-old stayed with us, and we watched a Nutcracker on TV.
Oh, that's a good idea.
It was actually really fun. We watched an English version. It was from PBS. Great performances. It was a little different, and it was really good. Mm-hmm. Okay, side talking. All right, fully finished objects.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, I have one fully finished object that has been in use, and that is my Countdown to Christmas bell pull by Heartstring Samplery. This was a Jingle Ball class and I got the kit. And there we were. I had this hanging and
So good.
moved. This is a magnet. I moved it every day, and then it got down to the 25th. And Beth's husband, I believe his name is Matt, who does the boardroom. He makes these wood, and I think they're now taking pre-orders for other people that want them. It's such a nice finish. First
Show
of all,
them back too.
yeah, that's what I'm going to show. First of all, I learned my lesson. I have to be more careful when I'm fusing interfacing on, because I think I fused in a few wrinkles. I'm not going to worry about it, but I'm just note to self. So you did that, and then you just hand sewed this piece of fabric on the back. And so it has such a nice texture. There's nothing inside besides interfacing. There's no mat board or anything inside. It was really satisfying. I love doing that blind stitch all the way around. And she had a really clever technique. I just inserted some cardstock while I kept the bottom was open, so that as you're whip stitching, you're hitting the cardstock and you're never going through to your front fabric. So that was a great technique.
And I can't remember if you said this on video. You told me later that when you folded these, you pulled a thread.
Oh yeah, that's the way to keep it straight. Is we did a pulled thread along here and then folded along that line.
I like the fabric you chose a lot for the back.
I didn't choose it. It was a kit.
Oh.
Everything came in the kit.
This was Beth Twist.
Yeah, and she said it was one of the Lori Holt's fabrics, and there are little cross stitches, and this is a standard line, and I guess there's lots of colors in it. And she feels like it's a really good finishing fabric. This kit was the most expensive Jingle Ball kit. It was over $100, but I got it because it came with so many different elements that I thought would be.
You can see why. I mean, all those supplies add up.
And it was so worth it. It was already so fun, and it's a hanging in place where my grandkids can, reach it and touch it. So let me just show it one more time. If you're at all thinking about doing this project, I know the pattern will be available, I think, next October. And they're selling the hangers and the markers on their website. So highly, highly, highly recommend. I'm going to think how to store it. I might actually just hang it in a closet. I don't want to fold it. I don't want it to get like fold lines in it.
Because I think even if you rolled it, there would be a chance of that. Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Anna?
Okay. I finished one of the things in our last video. I had this box of Christmas
joy.
Christmas joy. Things that were almost finished. And this one was fully stitched, but wasn't fully finished. So this is one of the trees from the designer's Nikki pattern, and it's called the number 570 Christmas tree set. Sort of mid-century modern look to it.
And we put a video in of this finish in the last video, but you haven't been able to talk about it.
So
so good.
Here it is. And so I'm using a hook because I just put a little loop at the top, and this is the fabric on the back. And there are 2 layers of mat board and some quilt batting. And that's what the cross stitch is wrapped around. And then just 1 layer.
How did you get your corners? Especially that top vertex, can we say?
Yes. I need to perfect it, but that was so frustrating to me when I first tried to fully finish it maybe a year ago, is that just all of those layers in the corner. What I did was I snipped right up to that corner, and then I trimmed the fabric, and then I kind of folded 1 down and 1 over the corner and down.
I need to see you do that. We'll take some photos.
I absolutely needed to put trim around to stabilize it. I used glue, so probably the glue stabilized maybe the possible loose threads in the corner. And when I was in Ashland, Oregon over the summer, I went to the quilt store there, and they had this linen rickrack, and it has a little bit of color in it. And I thought that worked out great on the side.
I was wondering where you got that. Did you have something similar last year? I feel like you've had something small like this, and I feel like it goes with everything.
I did not. I got this in July.
Oh, I see. It has a little bit of color. Do you have one though that's also like
the
just
one
a
that's on your reindeer is almost like it's like a quilter we admire, Tara Vaughn, and she calls it. You always need like a brown paper bag color of fabric.
Yeah.
It's sort of that same thing of just like this neutral.
I love it. And the size rack, I feel like for the double mat board is perfect width. Do you remember where you got that rack?
I have no idea. Maybe Farm Girl Dry Goods.
Okay. Yeah. We're looking over at mine. Or fantastic Christmas tree.
So that's my fully finished, and it is hanging on the tree.
So good. So good. I just have to tell a quick funny story. And in fact, I'll just insert a quick picture of our Christmas tree with Anna's ornament on it that she gave me a few years ago. These trees, we've talked about these a lot. These are silver tip trees. They're really open. And so your ornaments, you can really see them. But one of our family relatives that was on the East Coast was like, oh, we really feel sorry for those West Coast family because of all the drought, their trees are so scrawny. We're like, no, we actually drive like 35 minutes to a special place to get these scrawny trees.
I understand they're not for everyone. I find them so beautiful.
I know. My son and daughter-in-law's family were over yesterday, and my daughter-in-law was like, I kind of like that tree. You can really see all the ornaments. She's like, goes to my son, do you think maybe we should try that next year? And he's like, absolutely not.
James and I originally had the idea of we were going to, every other year, like he would pick his style and I would pick my style.
He's given in.
It makes me too happy.
Yeah, it's so good. Okay, let's go to our finished objects. First one for me is Holiday Countdown. This is the collaboration of Evertote, Caroline of Evertote, Carrie of Roxy Floss, and Jacob of the Modern Folk Embroidery. This is their 4th year they've done it. This is my first year. I got the full box, including the floss. Caroline also does a little video every day, like a Flossmas, or I forget what she calls it, which is so great. I kept up. I did not stitch Christmas Eve or Christmas, but I caught up yesterday and finished it. Every day you would get, it was bird inspired, so you would get some kind of image, and sometimes it was actually a free pattern he designed, and then on the back would be highlighted in bold what you were stitching with that day's color, and you would only use the color once a day. I loved this one.
I want to get it next year just for these.
I know. I hope they do this. I think they've done this most years, is put the photos on like this. And what I did this year, and I'll put a photo up in my craft room, I just kept taping up. I didn't tape all of them up, but a lot of them I taped up.
It looks really cool.
It's not going to come down for a while. I really like that a lot. Here is the partial final palette. There's some, you'll see in a minute, I have them in other projects. So great. Okay, here it is.
Oh, look at that turquoise in the middle.
Yes,
wow.
That turquoise in the middle is 2 different turquoise. One was a new color called Parakeet that had a little bit of green in it. And then the other one was our last color yesterday. A couple things I did was, can you see in these little flowers, I put a little red in the center.
Yes.
I added that.
Were they all yellow?
Yeah, so when I finished, we would stitch with only one color every day. So when I finished last night, I kind of went and added a little bit of color in a few more places just to balance things up. There was so much red. So for example, in the yellow flowers in the border, I added the dark red to the dark yellow and the lighter red we had to the lighter.
Did you just stitch over the stitch?
It was an empty. It was an open linen hole.
Oh.
Then the flowers in the corners, I added that little magenta bit coming out and filled in a little bit more with the pale pink. So I added in this little bit coming out, and then I added a pale pink in there.
And was that empty too?
That was empty too.
Okay.
I think those are the main ones, but I might kind of sit with it a little bit more and see if I want to put color, like do I want to put any of the yellows in a couple places. So, the other thing is my eye can't decide if it likes that open space or not. And what do you think?
Open space.
See the open space above the bird's wings?
I usually love open space, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I would sit with that too.
And then I'm like, oh, should I put initials? Then I had a dream last night. My dream last night is that Jacob, this is a dream, I'm just making this up, this is not, that Jacob released a few tiny little patterns and you could put in their little motifs or initials that you could, if you wanted to personalize that little space, you could fill it in. So one thing I thought is like, would I put initials in there? Could there be some more birds, other motifs that would go in there?
I think you should put some motifs from your traditional Christmas Eve dinner, some green beans.
Yes,
and a roast.
Tomatoes. Or like if it's like that motif, could that? And then those look like rocket ships. So this project I love so much. I love it. I will be all in again next year. I love stitching every day. Every day was about 200 stitches. It was so manageable to do.
How long does it take to do 200 stitches? Like an hour?
Probably hour. probably an hour, something like that. I always had time to stitch on something else in the evening if I wanted to do this. I loved opening our bag every day. Occasionally you'd have like a thing of tea or a little candy, just a little something or other. Yeah. So I tell a lot of time and thought goes into this, and it is so enjoyable.
I wrote in somebody's comment of like, I live vicariously through you because I've never tried it, but I feel like I've done it each year.
Yeah. Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to definitely participate again next year. I'll have to decide whether I do the full floss, or I might yet next year do the full floss, open the floss ahead of time, and then pick like a palette of like 9 of them and then stitch it with that, or play with that.
Play with that idea.
Then the other thing I'm going to do is I've done 2 of the 4 years now. I want to go back to the very first year, which was the Frisian band sampler. It was the Countdown 2022. Here's a picture of it. And this palette had so many beautiful combinations where, hey, if you took these 3 flosses or those 4 flosses, like often there was like a light and a dark in the same family. So I'm going to do it's a band sampler. So I'm going to take the same floss and pick out those colors and do the band. And I'll put the picture again here. It's a side-by-side band, but I know Carmen of Cardamom Pin, she made it one long band sampler. So I'm going to do the same thing. So anyway, so fun. So thank you, everybody involved. And then when I was in IKEA, can you hold this up? I got these little birds this year for the holiday time. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they go so well with the colors in this.
That's funny.
And then the blue one. So the red and the blue and the pink.
Very nice.
So how about you, Anna? What's your...
I have one finish, and it was almost finished last time, and that's the blue Belsnickle. Or blue Belsnickle. So he has his full face and his pipe. And I redid his little mittens. They were green originally, but because I didn't do the green grass, I changed them to red, and I really like that. And I think I'm going to do, I have this little packet of charms that I got at Acorns and Thread. I think I'm going to put a few acorns or a snowflake or something in one of his hands. In the Notforgotten Farm pattern, he has a ribbon and a key hanging.
And wait, are they charms that they have hanging, or in the pattern? Oh, I have the pattern.
I can't.
They weren't stitched.
They weren't stitched. So
He turned out great. So is that on 40 count?
This is on 40 count, and
Yeah.
I still like the idea of making him stand up using the skills that I learned at the Jingle Ball. So that's about it on that.
That's good. Do you think you'll FFO him this year?
I would love to. We'll see.
Yeah. All right, let's do our works in progress. So I decided halfway through that holiday count, I need a side project, like a side beer. I need a side beer. I need a side project.
What's a side beer?
Okay, this was years ago because the boys would have probably been early 20s. We went out to dinner with them and Lynn and her husband, sister and her husband. And we went to this restaurant in San Francisco that had beer that went along with each course. So like, like they have a wine pairing, they have a beer pairing. So we were really excited to go to that. And then the waiter, he just casually goes, okay, so everyone's going to get side beers, right? And we're like, okay, sure. We drank so much beer that night, the side beer. So even today we'll be like, anybody getting a side beer?
So wait, then you got your beer with each course, and you were also sipping on a side
beer.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why, the waiter, just the way he said it, we were just all like, yeah, sure, of course we're having side beers.
I find that a very nice quality in a person. It sort of gets you to try a bunch of stuff.
We had a great time, but at the end we're like, ooh.
Yeah.
We had a lot to drink. So then I'm always like, oh, my side project. So I picked Notforgotten Farm, Cinder Claws. And
so cute.
I picked, for the most part, these were colors from the holiday countdown. This was the turquoise. It's called Parakeet, and it has this beautiful green in it. And then this is a red from Roxy Floss that I'd never used called Lipstick. And there was this beautiful green English ivy. So I thought those looked great together. There was a beautiful brown Alter Ego. And then some nice pinks. And I first thought that might be my flush color. It didn't work, so I went ahead and used Classic Colorworks Cappuccino, which had a a little bit more brown.
Purpley.
Yeah, and then I did add a cream. So here
Keep that. I might steal that.
Here is my Cinder Claus so far.
Oh gosh, really cute.
I don't know if it's focusing on that. There we go. So I made his coat the turquoise, and I'm down on his stocking in the ho ho ho. And his little pink cheeks. So that's my side project. And I just cut, I'm like, I just need to stitch something. So I just went and I cut off my linen. So I know there's going to be space for something else down here for another side project. And I think I might do one of the Robin Pickens. Wait, is that right? One of
the diamonds.
One of the diamonds.
Yes, love it.
And same thing. There were so many great colors. I mean, I think that was the cool thing about doing the holiday countdown is you only use a little bit of each color, but I have 25 new shades of Roxy Floss. Some of them are from their catalog, and some of them are new shades. They say before they used to dye everything new for this, but they're like, we have such a big catalog now. Like,
it's a very good decision on their part.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, so that's my Cinder Claus.
All right, I just want to go on record saying that my box of joy, I'm still really interested in fully finishing. That's the second time I'm saying that.
Yeah.
But I started something else.
Oh, I love this.
This Oh My Gosh by Heart and Hand, which we were talking about the Wee Santas.
Oh.
And this is a really similar colorway to the Wee Santa that I'm almost done with.
May I borrow this when you're done? I'm going to do just the Christmas ball.
Yeah.
Are you doing the words, oh my gosh, by Golly?
No, I'm just doing the ball. And then I think I'm going to sew some fabric on the
Yes.
ball. I've always wanted to do a pillow
Yes.
with that. So I think so I will finish the ball.
Yes.
Bring down the border.
Yes.
Maybe I won't even do a border across. And this has just been...
I would not, because then the fabric, have the border come all the way down to the fabric. Mm-hmm. And you're going to put 2025?
I don't know. Maybe.
Great colors.
It's symmetrical, it's repetitive, and it has just been wonderful the last couple nights.
Is this the same palette from
It's not exactly the same, but there are some crossovers, like that Snowball White and the Seashelly and a few. I mean, they're just...
I like
pink. I like pink in a Christmas ornament a lot.
The blue corn is a really nice color. Was blue corn that would have been good for Belsnickle, your blue.
I use DMC for
In fact,
him.
those would be two good colors. That's a nice brown. That's a really nice neutral brown too. Okay, Anna, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely want to borrow that when you're done.
Okay.
Yeah, Heart and Hand does some nice little ones. I saw in Tara Sullivan, she had a couple of just little Heart and Hand pieces, ornaments that were cute. And man, though, just be able to see that pattern. It's packaged really cute, but whoo! All right,
Yeah,
good.
Let's just say that if I was in school right now, this would have gone to the copier and been enlarged. Of course, I could go to Kinko's too, but
That's not the same.
it's not the same as using the school
Free
copier.
copier. Okay, my next start is a winter forest ornament, and I'm going to insert the picture of it here. This is a mystery sal by Tiny Modernist, where she put out one of the 5 ornaments every week, and we now have all of them. Okay, I am stalled on this. Here's my progress so far. I'm starting with the first ornament, which is that fox. And I'm on, it's a Roxy Floss. What's the name of this linen? It's like cherry cobbler, 36 count cherry cobbler. Okay, so that's where I am. And let me I'm using all the called for DMC, which is all these great, very bright colors. And here's my dilemma. I'm sort of worried that the colors are getting a little washed out. I thought they would look really good, but again, I'm using one strand on 36. And there are a lot of balls and motifs that are in these reds. And I'm worried, particularly the darker red is going to get washed out.
Yeah.
The other reason I'm stalled is I'm having a hard time seeing the 36 because it's a dark linen. I have to be under really good light. And this has a lot of like a few stitches here, a few stitches there. I think it's really effective. It looks great, but it is a little bit harder on the dark linen.
Why don't you restart on a lighter linen? Don't take this out or anything.
And then compare.
And then you can show us and compare.
Yeah, that sounds good because it's such a cute design, and I really like it. And I love, like, look at that palette of colors.
Yeah, it's very pretty. And personally, I like it so far, but of course, like you said, you haven't stitched the red ornaments.
Yeah.
I kind of like how subtle that there's not a lot of contrast.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty.
It's funny. It almost looks like there's more contrast in the camera. So.
But you've installed.
I've installed for a
You asked
while.
me that for like a week ago, and so I think that's a sure sign for you.
Yeah, and I think that's a good idea to just keep this started on a lighter linen, see what it looks like. I've also been really into my holiday countdown and my Cinder Claus. Oh, wait till you see another start too. I've done a ton. I'm going to show you that later.
I don't know what it is.
I know, she doesn't. Okay.
All right, we're onto our knitting whips. Working on this blanket for my youngest grandchild, and we're finished the trees, everybody, and we're on to like the starry night.
Oh.
And then we'll be, upside down trees essentially on the and bordered. So I'm just going to be able to knit until I run out of yarn. I tried to get another ball of yarn, but they were out of the dye lot. So
wait, you're going to run out of yarn?
I don't know. I have 5 skeins and I've almost used 2. So I'll just make it.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Because let's see.
I shouldn't say I'm going to run out. I think this is my 4th baby blanket for the 4th grandchild. I think they're getting bigger and bigger every time I make one.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Do you know how far you got on the first skein?
Yes, I have the number of inches. Well, you can see.
Or you probably have the
where
attached yarn. Because just make sure you're going to save enough to get your full trees on the other end.
Yeah,
this feels
I've done
so
that math.
good. It's really nice. The cotton has a really nice drape.
Thanks. So I did a couple of starts on this, which I talked about in our last video, and was cruising along, and then I made some mistake, I think related to a yarn over, and I essentially had a big hole. I was like, I could probably just like take a piece of yarn and just like no. I sort of set it out on a desk, and I had the pattern, and I worked backwards, looking at each stitch, what I should expect. It was so good for my brain, and I was able to fix it, and I'm so happy.
That's great.
And, because it's not so much like a perfectionist piece of me. It's like, no, like I want to be able to fix my mistakes, and I want to be able to look backwards in the pattern because it has a lot of changes as you go. And I feel like I can really see the different kinds of stitches.
Yeah. Are you knitting from a chart?
Are
you use the written instructions?
I'm using the written instructions because I am not finding the chart any easier personally.
Oh, that's so interesting. Here, we can just... So knitting patterns, if you're not a knitter, they use similar charts to a cross-stitch pattern. And they'll have a symbol for what a knit stitch is, what a purl stitch is, and then any other specialty thing that you might do. Okay, that's interesting, Anna, because I would look at this chart and I'm like, oh, that's so easy to follow.
And I've used a chart before and loved it, but there's something about this one.
Yeah, and then what a lot of patterns will do, because some people don't like the chart, is they write out row by row, what are your stitches that you need to do. Wow, interesting.
So I'm really enjoying this. It's almost big enough we can drape it over her tiny little feet.
All right, a couple of my knitting. I have a couple knitting things. I'm just going to show one today. And this is my cardigan, my Noctura cardigan. And what I've done at this point, and again, it's not blocked yet. It's going to be, is I've taken it off the needles for the body because it's gotten down far enough. And now I'm going to work on the sleeves. And the reason I like to do that is then I can try it on. And I'll finalize the length of my cardigan once I have my sleeves on. It will fit better. I won't do my neckband because it comes after the button bands. So the neck will not be fully done when I can try it on, but you can start to see the basic shape of it. And it will have this yoke pattern.
Really pretty color.
Yeah. And the yarn I'm using, it's called Rambler by the Woolly Thistle, and the color is Winter Sky.
I have to laugh because on the movie night that we referred to earlier, Carolyn and I were both knitting. And I had like my pattern set up on the doll carriage next to me. And I'm like,
I think you have the shopping cart.
Shopping cart, yeah. I'm like, I have my thimble on, and I'm like moving like about like this speed. And Carolyn's like watching the movie, not looking down
like this.
this.
But I'm also knitting the body where
Doesn't matter.
it has a little bit under the arm. It has this nice little kind of braid, decorative braid that's going on. I cannot wait to fill this yarn once we talked about it blooming. I just know it's going to feel so good when it's washed. Okay, so making good progress on that.
All right, we're going to move into our We're Curious segment. And as Carolyn said, each of us picked a designer to explore this year. And it has been such a great experience for me. And this sort of came to me, it evolved for me because I had seen a few places on Instagram or heard a few people on FlossTube say, like, what would it be like to pick a cross-stitch book, like a Blackbird book, and stitch all 6 projects or something like that. And then I had this great conversation with Olivia B. We met at the cross-stitch store, and she said, well, you could also do a similar thing, but just pick a designer and do. So I thought, Notforgotten Farm, La-di-da, Pineberry Lane. I wanted to pick a designer that had enough smaller things, and I ended up picking Notforgotten Farm. And oh my gosh, at this time last year, I was looking at Hillside Rookery, Olivia B's store, and other places, and Notforgotten Farm's Etsy store, and like, Lori has a lot of patterns, and it was just so fun to plan. And all year.
How many of the designs had you picked in January versus did you pick them throughout the year? You know what I mean?
I purchased very few after my first purchase because I remember I bought a lot. I bought like 20 patterns just to sort of like immerse myself and to have a lot of choices.
Okay, so you did a big purchase at the beginning of the year. Okay.
It was. I received some for Christmas. It was great. And all year as I stitched, I'm like, I wanted to think about like, why is it that I am so drawn to the Notforgotten Farm patterns? For sure, it's the Pennsylvania German motifs. So the stars, the baskets of flowers, the peacocks, the birds, those kinds of things. The earthy palette. In fact, these are just a few of my rings from.
And did you keep? Yeah, I mean, look at that.
Lots of browns and golds and gray greens,
that blue,
and then just like a little gold, a little pink, a little red.
Do you
think
you'll
parchment? Weeks Dye Works parchment,
40 count. Do you think you'll keep those rings intact?
I don't think so. I don't. Well, maybe, probably not.
But it is neat to see the palette and how a designer is drawn to particular colors.
Yeah. I love what I nicknamed dancing alphabets, and I'll point some of these things out as I hold up the things that I stitched. I love that Lori's patterns have balance without exact symmetry. So there's something a little like little off or a little different or whatever you want to say, a little non-exactly symmetrical.
But they still feel balanced.
Yeah, to my eye. And some of her patterns have a lot of open space, which I typically really like open space. So in chronological order, I'll just hold up the ones that I stitched this year. The first one I did, and it still might be my favorite, is Springbird. And this is in honor of our mother. And this is on one of those fake books.
That worked out
just a tile.
Perfectly.
And it sits on a bookshelf that is a bookshelf like in the main entryway of our hall. And it gets a lot of attention as people come into the house. There's something about her. And so classic Pennsylvania German. So that's a great example of a Pennsylvania German motif that I love. Then I stitched the sepia sampler. And this was framed by L&M Framing. I changed a few of the motifs in that one.
It's funny, I would have thought you did this later on in the year.
I think it was February.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
Yeah. Then I stitched Rabbit Warren, which still needs a few stitches. But I love the different bunnies.
What's left on that, do you know?
Some flowers.
Yeah.
And some French knots for some of the tails. I have an idea of how I'd like to finish this into a pillow and what I might want to do with that pillow. Then I stitched my needles work, which I did with a
Oh, and you
open
hem stitched it.
finish. Mhm.
That looks so good. That looks so good. I like that one a lot.
Happy to pass them to you. And then my needles work, which is one of the patterns that I have noticed forever and ever since I came back to cross stitching, and I am going to make this into a needle book. Do you see the pennies, the way they're like slightly different shapes and sizes? I just like that amount of irregularity.
So there's your idea
It's
of
almost
like
balance
not,
in the irregularity.
yeah.
And then it was Veronica
great.
Beeler. So here's a great example of the open space.
I'm so glad you finished this year and
I am
fully
too.
finished it, because it's a really nice like capstone project, we might say.
I really wanted to finish all of them.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to make that needle book. But, the last week or two, I just thought, you know what, if I push to finish, it's going to take away some of the joy. I can finish them in January.
And you're right. She has a really nice combination of things that are smalls and then some of the bigger pieces. So that's really great. Okay.
And then Merry
finished a
Harvest,
lot,
which
Anna.
I will hold up. Like, look at the 7 in the bottom row. It's just a different size than all the other numbers. To me, that adds movement, and I just love it. I am considering restitching the white pumpkins with a whiter white, or I may just leave them. I think this will become a pillow with sort of a harvest color trim.
I think you should restitch them.
You really can't see them.
You really can't see them.
And then I'm like, okay, but real pumpkins aren't white.
Right.
So then should I make them gold? Or do we need a little bit of light in there?
I think I like the fact that they're white.
So I was
Like,
thinking
do you like the
about
snowball?
The snowball, yeah. Let's hold that up. I just feel like it might look stark, but I'm gonna try it.
Do the little one first. See, I like a bold white.
I'm gonna at least try it, or at least a
there's
little
a
bit on
very
the side.
small one right up here.
And I tried the sulky thread that I got, but I didn't like it on 40. I think I would need to use it on 36.
Oh yeah.
And then blue Belsnickle, which I held up a moment ago, was my last one. So how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Wow.
Now, around this time last year, I was webbing all kinds of ideas of things I want to do. Like I wanted to consider carefully what draws me to Notforgotten Farm Designs. That was so fun to think about. I wanted to stitch a sampler. I wanted to stitch a needle book. I wanted to stitch some seasonal. Did all of that. I wanted to start putting DMCs on floss tags, which I wasn't previously, and I really like it a lot. So I've sort of developed my way with my little label maker and this style of floss tag, which Carolyn and I both love. So we'll have some nice rings of DMC.
Good.
And I wanted to purchase an original design from Lori. And I can't remember what month it was. It might have been March. She put up some watercolors. I bought that thing so fast. And I tucked it in a closet, and I haven't really looked at it.
Oh my gosh, Anna!
And I'm so happy. What? Like, I don't really believe in punishment and rewards, but I feel like this is a little bit of a reward.
Why did you tuck it away?
Because I wanted to wait till the end of the year. There was just something like symbolic about it, of like sort of closing the year for me.
What a beautiful fractor piece.
I know.
I didn't know she did original art like this.
So every once in a while she'll pop them up, and
where does she have them on her?
The names, I can't remember. I think I bought it
on her Etsy?
It was so long ago. I think it was a Big Cartel or something. I can't remember. I think it was a different platform.
Okay.
And I am so happy. It was one of those things where if I hadn't thought about it ahead of time, I wouldn't have bought it quickly enough, because they sold out like in a day.
Yeah.
And I had it in my head, when I see something that I love, that Lori made, I'm going to get it. I love it.
Wouldn't you love to stitch that? You need to tell her, can you make a pattern for this, please?
So I want to display it with one of these pieces.
Anna.
So I wanted to share that with everybody. I think it's Susanna Ernst.
1823.
And I
think
I think Lori uses names from her mother's line in some of her pieces. So I don't.
It's neat though to
I
see,
might have-
you know, hers are watercolor, but you really see it has so many similar style characteristics to her the stitch patterns. Oh, and this
So
is
I'm really happy to have it.
wonderful.
Isn't it pretty?
Yeah, you're gonna have to think of just the right piece to display with that.
Well, I think I'm going to put up that lucite shelf that has the lip, and that'll be part of the collage in it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, how would it look with this?
I mean, fantastic, right? Oh, so incredible. It'd be cool to also like pick out some of the colors in here and even stitch another piece that, like, I could almost see that.
They're probably right here.
Well, you know, that blue right there. Because I could see like this in similar colors too. It has some.
Some of the things that I had on my web of ideas that didn't happen, but I'm going to say not yet, because I'm still going to stitch Notforgotten Farm forever and ever, is I want to stitch a piece with a Katie Strachan color conversion. I want to try a freebie of Lori's. So many designs are still calling to me. These are two of them that I purchased and didn't get to that I want to try. And
What's that big tulip thing over there?
oh, that's coming.
Okay.
That's a Christmas
Okay.
present. And then if we ever have the right moment, Carolyn and I would really like to visit the Notforgotten Farm.
Look at this. I wonder, I'm just going to show up the top. I wonder if that's one of her paintings at the top of that pattern. Lori, Primitives by Lori Brecklin, Notforgotten Farm. Oh yeah, I mean, look at the tulip there. Oh, so cool. Yeah, I would love to visit her farm. We'll have to sort of plan ahead and see when it's open. And
Seems like some Saturdays, but we could contact her.
we could even, that would be like even worth a cross-country trip if we tied it in with something else too.
Visiting our niece and
Family. Well, Anna, congratulations.
My
What
daughter.
a really
So,
successful year.
that's
Like,
my recap.
are you ready to let it go? Do you feel like about a good closure? Like, not that you're not going to keep stitching
I
Notforgotten
feel
Farm.
exactly, and that's the thing. You know, like if someone said you can never stitch Notforgotten Farm again, I would feel really sad because I still have a lot of patterns that I love. I feel really happy and really fulfilled and really just have a lot of admiration for Lori and her designs.
I feel like when you really like focus on a designer, and you didn't like neither of us stitched exclusively on our designers. I do think you start to see some of their themes, or like you probably now, if you saw a piece, you're like, oh, that's a Notforgotten Farm, or like I did the artsy housewife. I'd be like, oh yeah, that I really see the artsy housewife in that. So it's really, really cool. All right, so my featured designer was the artsy housewife. I can't remember why I picked her. I think I had just been really enjoying stitching her pieces. I wish I had some notes of where I'd made that decision. But a few highlights for the year is starting in January, I joined her Patreon. And I love Patreon. You get free patterns, and whether you stitch the free patterns or not in the content, I really feel like it's a nice way to support a designer, just to keep them going. It's like, I figure for them, it's probably like a nice monthly like base income. And I think it's just a great way to be a patron for them. Also, real highlight was Anna and I got to meet both Gigi and her husband Boone when they were driving through Northern California as they moved up to Oregon. And then we got to see them again at the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit in September, where she was one of the 2 featured designers. So that for me was like huge highlight to sort of get to know a little bit the people and the person behind the beautiful work.
So fun.
A few things I love about Gigi's, and we'll see it as we go through it, is first of all, she has this really magical way of mixing realistic, geometric, and organic shapes all within the same piece. And I feel like when you're stitching one of her pieces, no matter what your mood is, there's something on the piece to stitch with that. I also feel like she has an amazing eye for color, and she has a fine art background. She was a painter, and I think I noticed she posted on Instagram that she had spent a week on her own retreat painting. So it'll be interesting to see if she starts painting again. But you see that her use of color is incredible, her color combinations, and also sometimes she'll have a big piece and I'll highlight that one that had a very small palette, but the way she can really expertly use those colors is fantastic. Okay, so I'm just going to show you everything I've done with the Artsy Housewife. A couple of the things were before this year. So the very first piece I stitched was Pretty Bird. And this was a kit that actually, Anna, you bought, and I think we shared the floss from, and I think this might have been my first time using Roxy floss. Floss. So this is Pretty Bird. This is still one of my favorite designs by her, and those, just the bold colors. And again, we've got these very geometric, but this organic, beautiful branch coming along. Another one was, this was for Carolyn of Evertote's 50th birthday, was a special design. And again, this is all Roxy floss and linen, and this is called Weeds and Wildflowers. And same thing, I mean, just look at the detail in that moth, but then the border is geometric. And the colors.
We saw this design and we were like, we are getting it.
I know,
Plus it was so fun to celebrate Caroline.
Incredible. All right, so those I had finished before 2025. Fully finishes I had this year was the classic little sweetie, the squirrel. And this pattern, which has a beautiful border around it, I just picked the squirrel, is going to be released at market. And there's a very funny story about my sister, our sister Lynn, and the squirrel, which I'll put the video and you can go see it. But we borrowed that from Lynn for today, and that's just a little tile that sits on her bedstand next to her. And then another FFO I had was, this is called By Moonlight, and this was one of her 2 designs that she had for the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit, her smaller of the 2. And look at that. I mean, that border, you cannot beat her borders. Her borders are endlessly creative and so fun to stitch. Okay, so those are the ones I have fully. See, I was a little bit surprised I didn't have more fully finished for that. Okay. Then I have 2 things that I finished this year. The first one is Bun Bun, which is the bunny. Well, this is the second one I finished. And for this one, I kept her called for colors for Bun Bun, but because I changed the linen to such a bright green, I changed up the other colors. But again, I mean, look at that. That Bun Bun is just staring you down.
That's Bun Bun.
And then I also finished this year Lit, which is the deer with the lit bulbs. And both of these, I'm going to frame them, and I think I'm going to frame them with natural wood frames, like a darker natural wood. And look at that border, look at those graphic flowers, and then look at that deer. And there's always a little bit of whimsy. Okay. So those are my finishes this year. Again, I was a little surprised, like I feel like I was always stitching Artsy Housewife, but I'm surprised I didn't have more finishes. So should I have focused a little bit more and finished more? I don't know, but I still have some great whips going too. All right, so my oldest whip of hers is Blue Moon. And here's my progress on that. And this.
Oh, I love that one. Woo!
Yeah. I'm surprised I didn't pull this out in the fall because it has such a fall vibe.
Mm-hmm. Didn't you work on it a little bit?
No. Mm-mm. I thought I would, but I didn't. My next one is I did get this off her Patreon, and this was her birthday sampler that she designed. And I think this is also coming out in market, and she just finished hers. And she posted it. I don't know if she posted it on Instagram, but I know she posted it on Patreon. Unbelievable. And so here's my progress on that one. And for that one, I did a silk conversion. And this is where I am right now on that.
Looking good.
I know. There's some darker gold right here that's coming out. I just haven't pulled it out yet. I know after seeing her fully finished, I'm like, oh, I need to keep going on this one. That was Hyperbole. My next whip for her is Flora. I love this one. And here's my progress here. Here I made a big mistake that I'm going to have to do some ripping. Oh, here's my flora. I'm going to have to rip out these two border flowers. Oh, I mean, look at that there. This is a great example of that geometric border, these organic flowers, and then this kind of really natural owl.
And the colors, the colors, the colors.
I know. All right. And then I have a very small start. This was our bigger project from the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit, and it is called Brambling Hill. And I cannot wait to stitch this one. And this, I just have a tiny, tiny, tiny start because we all started all the projects at the retreat. That's all I have there, but it's a start. And then my last one is like, you know what? I needed another holiday stitching piece, and I'm like, I'm ending the year with an artsy housewife. So I picked her December Chickadees. And it's interesting, it had a lot of the same colors of Lit palette that she uses Bing Cherry. And here is my progress on that one. I actually have done quite a bit of stitching.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Carolyn, that's so pretty.
I know. So I'm going to definitely keep working on this one. So that has been such a fun holiday stitch. And again, the big bird, I mean, the big flowers, that little bird, the beautiful border. So that is my artsy housewife. So it's sort of interesting. I think when I ended the year here and I'm recapping, I still have a lot of whips. So it was more about like starting and working on her pieces. And I'm definitely going to keep going because I want to finish all of those. But it was just such a great year, and I really feel like I have a good feel and admiration for her as a designer, and we'll always probably be stitching one of her pieces because I enjoy them so much.
That's a given. For me, your bun and your fabric choice really is a standout.
Our sister Lynn, who has Sweetie, wants that. So I'm going to frame that and give that one to her. I know I can almost imagine like an animal wall with Gigi's different animals on there, just kind of staring you down. Like, how you doing over there? Okay. Good.
Thanks.
That's good. Thanks.
Notforgotten Farm.
And thank you, Artsy Housewife. Like, you all are making the world a better place in so many ways.
Yes, I hope all of our designers have some sense of that, because you're really sharing a piece of yourself, and it just makes it so many people so happy.
Yeah, and just the hours of joy you bring people, like stitching your pieces and seeing your colors, and then the final piece is like an added bonus, but that process,
yeah,
really incredible. Plans.
All right,
so your plans, Anna.
We're gonna have a lot of grandchildren action. I'm gonna be at the park a lot. So one of my plans is to maybe knit a few rows. I think that's my realistic expectation for my crafting time, and continue to sort of dream about my 2026 plans. I am a person who likes the anticipation of something. I like the anticipation of the start of a new year. I like the anticipation of a family visit, a vacation or something. I like that. And then I am going to consider making Pennsylvania German motifs, maybe a theme for the next couple of blessing samplers. And in particular, I keep looking at the Pennsylvania German peacocks.
She has a link here. I'm just going to see. We'll put a picture there.
It's on Colorado Cross Stitcher's website. It's with thy needle and thread. Is that Embroidery? I every time I see this, I think, oh. So if I stitch a blessing sampler in 2026, I think it's going to be that one.
Nice. It actually has a very Notforgotten Farm feel to it.
Yes. Carolyn.
Okay, so I am just going to continue my stitch holiday, I think, through the new year. I want to work on that December Chickadee. I want to do my Cinder claws, and who else? I'm just still really feeling the holiday festive groove for that. I'm hoping to participate in the Christmas Eve 12 by 12. We work on 12 things for 12 hours. But you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to do Artsy Housewife, like as a way of just like really wrapping up the year and work on all of my whips. Maybe order the frames for my Lit and my Bun, make those final decisions and order the frames, and kind of have that as my let's wrap the year up. So that's what I'm thinking.
Great.
Anna hosts a New Year's Eve party, so I'll schedule that into my 12 is 12. I just get up and start like 7 in the morning for that. I'm going to also finalize my linen and floss choices for the Modern Folk Embroidery 2026 Sal called Little Acorns. I'll put a picture of it right here. It's a band sampler, and I have some ideas of what I want to do for the floss colors for that. And then I'm just going to be dreaming about my dreaming about my 2026 stitching themes. I have a few ideas, but our next video we'll talk more about those. And just it was really fun having the theme this year, thinking about what it's going to be for next year.
Yeah, I like a little bit of structure and a lot of flexibility within the structure.
Great. Okay.
Shared supplies. I have one thing.
Anna has one thing. I have zero.
That's what you were gazing at. It's called Fancy Tulip by Exemplars from the Heart. It's from Hillside Rookery, and my husband got it for me for Christmas.
Oh my God.
Olivia sent a nice little note. And Olivia, you want to stitch this with me?
I want to stitch it with you.
Okay.
Yeah, Olivia, do you want to stitch it too? This is fantastic.
It is.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. Exemplars from the Heart, Fancy Tulip.
Let's see what the copyright is. Sorry, sort of took that out of your hand. 2009.
Okay.
So not that far away. Exemplars from the Heart. Vilma C. Becklin is the designer. So Hillside Rookery, Olivia carries a bunch of charts from this designer.
That is a fantastic one. Okay, nice. I think the only thing I bought was DMC for the December chickadee. I don't know what I was thinking. I wanted to start that thing, and it was like last weekend and I went to Michael's, and I'm like, holy cow, there's no parking spaces. Like, because everybody at Michael's was buying stuff, but I'm still like, I don't care, I'm getting my DMC. And actually the line wasn't too bad. I'm like, fighting my way through there, get my DMC.
All right, my thumbs up are some gifts from my daughter. My daughter really enjoys giving presents, and she is an excellent gift giver. And look at these tiny little cups. Maybe they're sake cups. I don't know. Am I going to use them in a display? Am I going to use them for beer? Am I going to use them for grandchildren? I don't know, but I
they'd be a good kid cup too.
Yeah, you get a little sip of milk with your grapes.
Yeah.
And the next one is a bird bag, because I talk with my oldest grandchild a lot about birds when I'm visiting her in Virginia. And the last thing, which is very funny, I almost got these for her, but they were sold out. I love stationery supplies, and there's a stationery company called Cloth and Paper. And these are sticky notes, and they're circular, and one has grid, one has dots, one has lines. This is right up my alley, folks.
You're going to be putting those on your patterns.
So, thumbs up.
Nice. Awesome. All right. My thumbs up are, the first thing is Christmas black tea. My local daughter-in-law, she just popped by the house once at the beginning of December, and she's like, oh, here, I got this for you. And I keep telling her, this is like the best gift to give somebody. I really like the tea. I never had it before, but it's almost like a little peppery, spicy. It's really good little zing. In fact, I'm drinking it right now, but I allow myself like one tea bag a day.
Does it have any information about what's in? Oh, it's probably the cloves.
It's the cloves,
the ginger.
Yeah. And I'm just like, what a beautiful gift. I love the tin. So that's been a thumbs up, super fun. My other thumbs up is I really like a good holiday mug. This is the second year I bought a holiday mug for myself at Target. The first year I have like a penguin, and then I have this one, and it just brings me so much joy to drink my tea out of a holiday mug. And then finally, our family has a tradition on your birthday and Christmas. Everybody gets their own half-pound box of See's candy. And we all have like a family list. And so here's my half-pound. I won't tell you how much I've eaten and how much is left, but it is so fun to have your own candy.
Tell us one of your favorites.
I really like the California brittle, which is a little bit of coffee brittle. I love a good chocolate-covered raisin. I love those. I love the chocolate truffle, which is like a kind of a soft chocolate.
Great.
Good. So all good, thumbs up. Doesn't take a lot to make me happy. See, like, and these things, like, this is what also makes me feel festive. Like a special cup of tea in the afternoon. I know I was telling my daughter-in-law, I'm like, hey, this is such a beautiful tin. I wonder if we can just buy some more of this style tea. I'm like, because next year, you don't have to give me a tin, but can you give me some more of the tea? It has 30 tea bags, and I've been working my way through it. That's really good.
Actually, I smell the cocoa nib in there.
Great.
Okay.
Just like doing a little display.
Well, let's hear.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, it would look really good with that. Okay. We got to get done so we can go to get our pizza.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. All right. So happy next time we see you. It's going to be 2026. I think we usually release our videos on Thursday. So next Thursday will be actually the 1st. So I think I'm going to try to get it on Wednesday just to get it out in 2025.
Okay.
So until next time.
See what happens. Happy crafting.
Stay curious, everybody.
See you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Anna.
And we're two sisters like handcrafting and figuring things out.
Hi.
You gotta pause.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought maybe we were going to be restarting anyway.
Okay, you want to restart?
Yeah, we're okay.